used to dream about cars and things, about being a star and things. I thought that I would outgrow this feeling. It seems my dream won't go away. So it's more like...
Hello, welcome, Devil Sniper here, and today I'm bringing you episode number 23 of our career mode with Frankfurt. As you know, we are in season 2, the transfer window shut. We've made some absolutely sensational signings, and I'm absolutely loving this career mode. I'm really enjoying my time in the Bundesliga in Germany, and I'm loving the team that we have constructed. Not too many changes, which sometimes in the career mode I really like. Sometimes I feel you can make too many changes, and that can ruin the whole complexion of a team. But as you can see, we are sitting firmly in second place in the league, which is sensational. Now, I would love to have Boateng, Farfan, Draxler would be really nice sitting in my team, but unfortunately we don't have that. Even Matip, who's a solid centre-back, and it just, oh my days, I just reeled off, half of the Schalke team, and that's because they're just such a decent side, such a wonderful side. But we've got a job to do, and that means we've got to nullify them, keep them at arm's length, and hopefully take 3 points. And today's episode will see our first steps, tentatively, into the Europa League, which will be fantastic. I can't wait to start the European football. And of course, we're going to start off with a very disappointing penalty. I don't understand why we're giving away so many penalties. It just seems to be any sort of collision. I mean, I'm going to hold my hands up. That was actually a penalty, but I still feel that, it was a little bit of the Schalke player making too much. Oh, what can... for God's sake. We just keep conceding so many bloody penalties. It's so frustrating. It really is. And Farfan just nonchalantly slams it into the bottom corner. Trappy wasn't equal to it. And it was a great finish, to be fair. Farfan's a decent penalty taker, to be honest. And it was a disappointing way to start. But Wallison with a beautiful ball into my boy Jimenez. And Jimenez with a fantastic left foot shot. But it hits the post and doesn't go in, which was annoying. But Schwegs spreads the ball out to the right-hand side into Wallison, who's looking very, very alive. He's bombing forward into the box, takes a nice little shot there, but unfortunately the keeper was equal to it. Perhaps he should have crossed it, but he is a forward. I brought him into the club because I know he can finish opportunities, and I like the way that he takes on opportunities, and he's never scared to have a poke, and I think that's very, very important, especially in these tough fixtures we have coming up, and a tough season we have coming up. So the half-time score was Schalke 1, Frankfurt 0, and I decided to make a few changes. I decided to bring on Annunaki, take Schwegs off, and just utilise Inui's pace and ability. We've got Sharok, who's coming on for Sonny. Sonny just wasn't getting into the game and not looking his normal self, which, he's still a young lad, so I'm not too worried. This happens. And of course, I bring on our boy Hakan, who's been playing really well all season. He's been crafting a lot of opportunities, making a lot of opportunities for us and getting forward. So hopefully we could utilise that. But a beautiful ball from Sharok played into Wallison. And Wallison again with a fantastic shot. But the Schalke keeper was just palming away as if he was Trappy. I had a little bit of a mental moment there with the tackle, and I pre-tackled, and it made me look a bit of a prat. And then I gave away a penalty, and to top it all off, because EA love me, the referee sent my player off. Constant got sent off, and that was all just down to me having one of those preemptive moments and cocking it up. And I feel that the red card was, I'm not going to say harsh, but it was an absolute joke. I won the ball. I got the ball cleanly. Yes, the player was, taken out, but that's part and parcel. If you get the ball, the player's going to go down. End of story. So for him to award the free kick is a joke. For them to award the red card was a joke. And from the corner, they score a second. And I don't know what we're doing wrong. I really don't. I feel that we're actually playing really well. Don't get me wrong. We had a couple of preemptive tackles that cost me, but I don't know what we're doing wrong. And again, we give away a penalty, and it just feels like at this moment in time, whatever I do is going to be a penalty. And I can't argue that one. Hakan was very impulsive, a little bit too over aggressive, I suppose you could say, getting in there. And unfortunately, he just caught the player, and it's another penalty, and it's Farfan's opportunity to double his tally and give Schalke a 3-0 win. And yes, he does. So it's definitely an action-packed episode, but at this moment in time, it's just all going the wrong way. All the goals are against us, and another thumping. That's 2 thumpings we've had this season. We lost 3-1 early doors in the season, game number 2, I believe it was, and we've just been absolutely torn to bits by Schalke. They're a decent side at the end of the day, so I can take it on the chin, but we've got to be matching, if not equaling, if not beating Schalke and pushing up that league table, because I want to make a real push for the top 2. And at this moment in time, I don't think we're going to make a push for the top 2 the way we're playing. But it's still early doors in the season. As you can see, my boy Jimenez, he would like more wages, and he wants a new contract, which, with me, is totally and utterly fine. I'm more than happy to give the Iceman a new contract, make him a crucial player, because he is bloody crucial to me personally. And I'm also going to offer our boy Trappy a new contract. He only has 1 year, 10 months remaining, and I want to see him at the club for the next 10 years, for the rest of his career, hopefully, because he really is sensational. He hasn't started off too well this season. He's conceded a few goals, but none of them have been his fault, to be fair, so we can't lay any blame at his door. So what I'm going to do is offer him the contract, and hopefully he'll sign the extension, and that'll be fantastic, and give us a bit more, stability in the side. So we're going into our next game. Thankfully, it is a home game against Borussia Mönchengladbach. And as you can see, they're still looking pretty much similar to last season. They haven't really made any major changes that I can see personally. They're still going with the same formation, the same sort of lineup. So unless they've got a few substitutes that they actually purchased, I don't believe they've actually bought anyone. So that's fair dues. We have made some changes, and obviously, but yeah, we'll just have to see how it all goes. But a nice bit of play there by Hakan with a fake shot turning inside, trying to get the through ball. But again, Mönchengladbach were just literally a brick wall, solid brick wall, playing really, really well. And we lacked that little bit of inspiration to get forward. But the ball came out to that right-hand side, and we didn't utilise the wings as much until we got down the left-hand side. And surprisingly, it's Jimenez who's cutting in from the left onto his right foot, pinging in an absolute ripper of a shot. But it was Jimenez who started to utilise our flanks. We weren't doing it. For some reason, for once, with Jimenez up top, we know how powerful he is in the air. We weren't utilising the wings, which was really, really frustrating. We were always trying to cut inside. And it was Jimenez who actually got the ball from that left-hand side. And again, but to be fair, he cut inside because he can't cross and header it himself, unfortunately. I wish he could at times. I really do. But as you can see, Mönchengladbach came out in the second half. They looked a little bit more potent. They didn't really offer too much in the first half for me. They just sat back. It was almost as if they were sussing us out. And to be fair, they did. But a nice ball from Sonny into my boy Sebastian Jung, getting down that right-hand side to ping a beautiful cross in. And what a sensational overhead kick from our boy, our wonder boy, the Iceman, the unbelievable Mexican finisher, Jimenez. What a beautiful overhead kick, and what a defensive block stroke save from Mönchengladbach. Unbelievable. You just know things aren't going to go your way when you pull off an absolute blistering overhead kick, and the centre-back and the keeper together somehow knock the ball away, which is very frustrating from my point of view. But Farrell swings the ball in. We don't win the first header. It's a great defensive clearance, and it pretty much summed up the way we were playing and the way the day was going. And I think it was written on the wall that it was going to be a 0-0 draw. And unfortunately, as you can see, we did draw 0-0, which is it's just infuriating. It really is. But what an opportunity by Jimenez. Absolutely sensational. And to top it off, he signs his contract, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm so chuffed that he has signed his contract. And we're now going into the tentative steps into Europe. We're starting away from home. I was so hoping, absolutely so hoping, we would have a home game to start off our European tour, our European adventures, but we don't. And you can see from the table, we've still got Valencia to play and Club Brugge to play. It's not an easy group by any stretch of the imagination. It is a tough group, a really tough group, but hopefully we can do it. We can get through, qualify, and get into those latter stages of the tournament, and you never know, make it to the final. But Schweg's there with a nice piece of skill, feeding the ball into Gianluca. Gianluca knocks it onto our boy Sonny. Sonny with a delightful cross. We don't win the first header, unfortunately. Flummy goes across. He wins the ball in the centre of the park because he's an absolute tank. Composes himself, spreads it out to Stefano. Stefano cuts inside, sticking it on his right foot, sticking it in the top corner like an absolute animal. What a strike. If I knew Stefano was capable of hitting the ball like this, I think I would have had him playing a few more games than what Jungi did, because that was unbelievable. Flummy with fantastic ability to read the game in the centre of the park, winning that ball back, giving it to Stefano, and Stefano with that nice little inside step and then pinging it in that top corner was an absolute revelation. And look at Farrell, he's settling so well in the team, knocking that ball into Stefano into Schwegs knocking it down the wing to Sonny into Wallison getting to the byline, the ball back, Elanusi, oh my days, what a goal, pick that out, calm down, we are back, we are starting to hammer the living crap out of that net. What a beautiful finish. Why couldn't Jimenez do that against Mönchengladbach? Why could he not? So unfortunate, but what a beautiful goal. It was just beautiful football from the back all the way to the front, to a beautiful cross, to a beautiful finish to give us a deserved 2-0 lead. And we were tearing them apart. It was just too easy. A beautiful ball from Wallison into Sonny. Sonny breaking forward. The goal's at his beck and call. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the goal. But look at Wallison there to pick up the scraps. Turns himself inside. Bish, bash, bosh. Wally knocks it in that bottom corner to give us a 3-0 lead and absolutely destroyed the hopes and will of our opponents. And it's only half time. Strolling in, chest perked out as if we're Eric Cantona or Paolo Di Canio, with our chest perked out, heads held high. And it's so nice to see the ball hitting the back of the net. We haven't done that enough already this season. We really haven't. It's been really frustrating. And Trappy there. What was Trappy doing? Was that the first sign of a little bit of complacency from Trappy, knowing how good he is? But look at that ball. What an absolute screamer of a pass into Jimenez. And what does Jimenez do? Oh, I don't think we need to know. I don't want to talk about Jimenez. I love him too much. But the pass was magical. The finish was just sublime. I mean, Jesus, the boy. Left foot, right foot, does not matter. He sticks it in the back of the net because he's one matter. No, he's not one matter. But that would have been such a freaking awesome rhyme. And it's completely failed because he's clearly not one matter. But Annunaki picking up the ball, knocking it into Jimenez. Will Jimenez get a double? Oh, so close. Unfortunately, he does not. Beautiful shot, though, just past the post. It was sensational. The boys played so well for their first time in Europe. I mean, look at the way he just moves it onto his right foot. The next thing on his mind is hitting the back of the net. There's no if, buts or maybe with Jimenez. He just wants to hit the back of the net as much as physically possible. And we end the game with a deserved 4-0 victory. The second half wasn't much of a spectacle. I think we'd done all the work in the first half. We could sit back, relax, chill, and just calm ourselves down and prepare for our next game and our next adventure. But I was so chuffed with the 4-0 scoreline. Absolutely sensational. And we had two absolute screaming goals. One from Annunaki and one, of course, from Stefano. And, of course, we're going to finish the episode on an absolute high as Trappy signs a new contract.
I used to dream about cars and things, about being a star and things. I thought that